Very good day. This is V. Ramavalavan. With regard to this literature and management series, there's another message I would like to give on reverse FME and monitoring system response. Reverse FME versus monitoring system response. What is reverse FME? What is monitoring system response? What is the difference between the two? On this, Thiruvalluvar, who lived 2000 years back, he has said, before carrying out an activity, to explore the possibilities of failure, its impact, and its return on investments. So before even you do any activity, first of all, we need to understand its benefits or its pros and cons. What will be its return on investment? Whatever you do, there should be some benefits. At the same time, if at all there will be, if you encounter a problem, what kind of problem you can encounter? That also we need to assess. So that is what he has told. So in this line, the Ford CSR, customer specific requirements, what it says. Design and development planning supplemental, reverse FMEA process. Organizations are required to have a process in place that ensures all new launches complete an RFMEA event once the equipment is installed and running. The process should be first the process should be first completed at the equipment manufacturer and then after final installation on the organization plant floor. The reverse FMEA involves design and process engineers working with operators and attempting to make bad parts beat the error proofing and find new failure modes, causes, and develop control. The goal is to discover opportunities and implement improvements in the FMEA that were not previously discovered. Evidence of reverse FMEA events must be available starting July 1, 2022 for forward model programs which have not yet completed job 1. See, here they say, we have done some FMEA. Whether the FMEAs are done based on our previous knowledge, the existing knowledge, whatever that our CFT teams has. Based on that, we have developed some FME. Now, the product we have manufactured, whether we have made the sample and it is start running now in the shop floor. When it is running in the shop floor, now we have to go and see. Based on our FMEA, we would have incorporated some error proofing, some detection mechanism, some controls, whatever the controls you have kept in the shop floor, whatever you have implemented in the shop floor, whether those controls are working or not, whether those controls are sufficient or not. Try to make some bad parts, pass it through the error proofing mechanism, whatever you have installed, whether your error proofing is catching or not. If that doesn't catch, there is a problem. Or when you are doing this exercise, you will come across some new failure modes, causes also. When you identify some new failure modes or causes, naturally you will start developing some controls also. Or we need to control anyway. We need to develop some controls. So this is the whole idea. So what they have said, the evidence of carrying out this reverse FMEA. You should have the evidence of carrying out this reverse FMEA starting July 1st, 2022. And whatever the product is about to just leave, you have not made the first product at all. For those product, whatever has not run so far, for those product, you should have done this reverse FMEA and have some evidence for that. Actually, they have not specified any format for this. You can have your format, or you can, if at all you wanted to check with the software this thing, you can check with the CSR what they have told on the regarding any software formats on software on the formats on the software. Okay. Then with regard to Renault 4.6 control of non-conforming output on IATF 16949, you can refer to these classes which will have some what do you call some tint on this reverse FMEA. The organization shall review FMEA by using reverse FMEA tool in order to switch from corrective to preventive action. See, corrective is what once the problem has occurred, once the defect has occurred, you will take some action. That is corrective. Now, as a proactive measure, before even a problem occurs, you have some mechanism to control it, to prevent it. So that is preventive action. Corrective to preventive. The organization shall check at shop floor level their existing FME and provide necessary activities to avoid occurrence or at a minimum to improve detection of non-conformity. So you have to try to avoid occurrence or to a minimum improve the detection mechanism to identify the non-conformity. Okay. Then general motors. What the general motors is? The organization shall have a process. It is said in 10.3.1 continuous improvement supplemental. The organization shall have a process for effective review of PFME of all manufacturing parts and processes to occur annually at a minimum. This review shall consider at a minimum critical safety and high risk items. The organization shall incorporate tools such as reverse process FMEA or other similar methods to assist in PFMEA review. PFMEA review output shall include in updated PFMEA records of changes. So, at a minimum, annually you have to look into this. While doing this, consider the product's criticality, safety, and high risk. Considering this, carry out this reverse FMEA and whatever you have done, get it updated in your process FMEA. Then Stellantis Group PSA, what they say. So the supplier must implement reverse PFMEA to identify new potential failure modes in shop floor. So it is a once again proactive risk reduction process. Confirm or update current occurrence detection levels, process optimization. The reverse PFME is an on-station review. This is an on-station review by cross-functional team. So cross-functional team, instead of sitting in a conference room and doing the process, doing the reverse FMEA process, getting to the shop floor. On the shop floor level, you need to carry out this process. Then FME MSR. In FME MSR, potential failure causes which might occur under operating conditions are analyzed with respect to their technical effects on the system, vehicle, people, and regulatory compliance. Now, one thing you have to understand uh, in the reverse FMEA, the product has not gone to the customer. The product is still with us. So, we are studying our FMEA, whether our FMEA is robust. Is it effective? Now, here, the product has gone to the customer. At the customer operating condition, what is happening? The end use customer is using. In his operating condition, how it is performing. If we give some feedback, based on those feedback, we need to look into our FMEA. So FMEA, MSR in AAG first edition, they have recommended some format. We can make use of that format. Once you get it recorded, this will become the input for our design FMEA. So our design FMEA will get improved by studying this. What is the difference between these two? RFMEA. The goal is to discover opportunities and implement improvements in the FMEA that were not previously discovered. So when you are doing FMEA, as I said earlier, based on our understanding, past knowledge, experience, we develop FMEA. Now at the usage level, at the shop floor level, whether any new defect failure mode or causes are known, those things can be discovered, not previously discovered. That is, whatever you have not previously discovered, there is a possibility of discovering now. It is a proactive risk reduction process to identify new potential failure modes in shop. So, as I said, instead of corrective, this is a preventive. That means it is proactive of identifying new potential failure mode. It involves design and process engineers. The design and process engineers has to work with the operators and attempting to make some bad parts, beating the error proofing. So you have already kept some error proofing, whether your bad parts is being caught in the error proofing or not. Any new failure modes causes are being identified. Based on that, need to develop controls. On MSR, the goal is to understand customer operation as end user operation or in service and maintenance operation. So at the end use application level, what is happening? Potential failure causes which might occur under customer operating condition. Some potential failure can occur in the customer operating condition. So it has to be analyzed with respect to what their technical effects on the system, vehicle, people, regulatory compliance. If at all some defect happens, what is the impact, the technical effect to the system or the vehicle itself or the people who are operating or any regulatory compliance. The method considers whether or not failure causes or failure modes are detected by the system or failure effects are detected by the driver. Whether the system is detecting or driver is detecting during the operation. So here is the case study I would like to share. What has happened? Recently, I bought electric rice cooker. So earlier, I was having a brand. It was working for about 5 6 years. So it started deteriorating in the sense I don't wanted to wait till it's breakdown. So I thought of going for a new one. I bought a new one. So this time, what has happened in my earlier model, they kept a perforated sheet, perforated plate. Okay, it has to be kept at the bottom of the bowl. Then over which rice and water should be used. The idea is to, the rice should not directly get into contact with the bowl because the bowl is directly getting into contact with the hot plate. So there is a possibility of rice getting charred. So it was available in the earlier model. In the new model, it was not available. So because of which every time whenever we cook, 200 to 100 to 200 grams of rice is getting charred. So I took up this matter with the service engineer where they said for this model this is not available. Probably if at all you need to buy, you need to get, you can get it for by paying 160 rupees. I said no. See, this is the basic function of the product is not delivering. So it is a product is defective. It is a design failure. So if you have added 160 rupees in the original price, I would not have minded buying it. But the service people were not able to understand this. Finally, I wrote a mail to some two, three uh, mails, and two, three CC to many people, out of which one person responded and came to know about the problem. He is the marketing head. I explained the problem. Your people are not understanding this. The basic function of the product is not being delivered. So there is a problem. And then he understood the problem and he gave this. Before doing this, I did some research here. What I did, the old plate, whatever I was having, no, that plate I used it and tried to cook it. What was happening? The diameter was this is the plate was diameter is very small, and the new bowl, that is bigger in size. So what happens when the water is boiling inside? The plate is getting lifted and the rice is going underneath, and once again it is getting charred. So in order to compensate the weight, I using these two small plates. So if I use 2.5 cups of rice, I used two plates of this kind. And if I use 3 cups of rice, I used one plate. So by this, I was trying to solve the problem. So I explained all these things to the marketing head. See, in your product, I have done R&D, but you people have not done the effective R&D, I believe. So he understood the problem, and he somehow arranged, the perforated plate free of cost, and it reached my house directly. And I used it. Now you see vessels with perforated plate after cooking. No evidence of rice getting charred. Here, perforated plate removed after cooking. No evidence of rice getting charred. Here, just a mark of this thing. That's all. Conclusion. When we carry out a product design or carry out any changes to the product design, the product has to be validated at the manufacturing point to look for the possibilities of any failure that were not perceived during the construction of an FMEA. The idea is before even dispatching the product, before even releasing the product, you need to validate your FMEA, validate your product with all permutation and combination. Whether by any means any failure could come. If they would have done some two, three iteration, they should have easily got it because in no time I was able to get this defect. At the customer end, if you get the defect, you will lose reputation. In fact, I explained all these things to them. This is another this thing, this is another case study of which happened in my house only. This is with regard to monitoring system response. This I have already used in my earlier video, FMEA by Thiruvalluvar. Here, what has happened? Three stove is on. One is having cooker, that is rice cooker is there, and some sambar, rasam, something is going on here. What has happened? Suddenly, this got burst. So when I called sorry, it was having around, originally the product is having 2 years warranty. By about 15 months or so, this got burst. So when I called the service person, he came and he checked. He said, uh, only when there is some gas leak, this kind of bursting could happen. This is not having any gas leak, so this is not a problem. That's all. He closed the experiment. When I try to contact the service person or the next level, they all said the same thing. I never stopped. This took at least 6 months for me. Somehow I got hold of the marketing head and requested him to connect me to design or quality people so that I can explain the case. Finally, he said, you please explain me. I will pass on to him. That's what he told. Okay, no issue. I explained. See, you might have done some tempering for this glass. Okay, probably that may not be sufficient for this. Thing is, when these are boiling, some droplets could fall on the glass. There could be a sudden differential temperature should take place, because of which sudden expansion and contraction would take place, because of which this thing could happen. So you cannot just like that identifying something, saying that only when this happens, that time only it will burst. This is not the correct way of approaching a problem. When it see at the user end condition, you would have done some research in your place before launching this product. Before launching this product, you might have done some research R&D in your place. But at the user end condition, a customer is complaining or a customer is giving you some feedback. It should be a treasure. This product should be a treasure. You should go and strip open all the things, find out how this could have happened. So only when you do a thorough research from the user end also, then your product will become robust. Otherwise, you will be losing the market. Okay. So he understood the problem. Then he said, "Okay, sir, shop wherever you bought, from there you will receive a call tomorrow. You can straight away go and hand over and get this replaced." So I got it replaced. Actually, I gone back to my steel stuff. I got rid of this glass top. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell here, in the reverse FMEA, before even the product goes out of the thing, you should have done some research and ensure that there should not be any problem at the customer end. Uh, so they should have done the complete research. I told them that at your end that seems to be a problem. You have to go on back and do the FMEA. Then in this case, it has come to me and it is giving a finally the problem. So here at the user end, at the operating condition, user operating condition. Now three stoves are on. At this condition, this has happened. Now you have to do a research here. Now you have to AIG VDA first edition has recommended some format for this MSR. You document in that. Then this should be the input for the design FMEA. There you go and update later so that your FMEA will get improved, your product reliability will get improved. You will get customer confidence by supplying reliable product. When your product is reliable, You need not worry about the price raise. You can fix your own price. So many a time in our organization, things are at the documentation level. Here you need to uh, uh, practically whatever you have learned, it has to be practically understood, implemented. At the same time, it can be in our personal life also this can be used. Hope this video should have been useful to you. If you have not subscribed earlier, you can subscribe and activate the bell button for you to get alert and leave comment. How do you feel about this thing? And share to people whom you feel they also should get benefited out of it. Thank you very much.